Owd Grandad Piggott used to live next door to me in the old terraced houses down London. He'd get up in the morning, belt his missus up the hole, go banging down to the lavatory, come back, empty the gas meter and go out. You wouldn't say him again, Odie. Then he'd come wobbling one at gone midnight, clear the mantel shelf, burn about 4 new holes in the carpet, then near enough gas himself so I'd make a cup of tea. I'd switch the oven on over the grill, and then try light one of the rings. But it was his missus as I used to feel sorry for. 9 times out of 10 he'd tack it, but now and again he'd turn round and have a go. I throwed a carving knife at him once. For the next 2 weeks, I looked as if his chops started under his right eye and finished somewhere under his left ear hole. I remember, there was this particular time, 1 September it was, they'd had a great go. Me and our old lady had heard this commotion going on in their back kitchen. I'd got his missus under the sink. Screaming blue murder was. I was trying to pin her to the wall with a dolly peg. Then over a sudden, I lashed out at him, knocked him back, and then I scrolled out, dragging this Greek galvanised bucket with her. It was an hefty woman, was Grandma Piggott, and I swung this bucket at his head and hit him straight in the ear hole with it. I did just wind him one off, I tell thee. I knocked him straight across the kitchen, through the pantry door, and I fetched just about every shelf down. I thought I was coming through the wall, I did. Talk about a quagmire, a jam, cornflakes and vile language. It fetched a 6 on the Richter scale. Well, that night in Tommy Dawkins' pub, I was standing up the corner cussing blue murder to him, saying, I got a plaster on his ear, and his left eye was black as the road. Pierce Lockett says he's got a big gob of lard on the shirt collar. They bloody mind it, he says. It can stop there till it goes hard, then it'll chip off. I says it wouldn't do you two any harm. Get away from each other for a bit. Dunna talk to me about here, he says. I'll be bottom of the cut with a brick tied round the neck for as much elder. I'm the gaffer in our eyes, he says. I says, it looks as if they had. I says, listen, I'm going mushrooming tomorrow. Fancy coming with us? Where, he says. I says, Hildeston. No bloody mushrooms in Hildeston. I says, of course there is. I says, loads of mushrooms in Hildeston if you know where you go. What time at going, he says. I says, early, 6:08, for there's anybody about. Me and they, late. Late, he says. Well, I didn't need an alarm clock next morning. 6:15, he's coughing and spitting under my bedroom window like an old bankrot. I've got to get it off my chest, he says. So anyhow, cut a long story short, we went to where this place was at Hildeston, and we finished up with about 3 pound of mushrooms and a couple of polythene bags. But I told him originally as this place was hard to get to, you had to walk across 3 fields, jump a brook, then you had to go over this hill. And he's got to be careful, because farmhouse is in this little hollow next to it. Can't we go through that gate and round, he says. I says, now they'll say they's got climb. It knocked him up going over this hill, and I was gasping and coughing. I says, I'm going back that road. I'm 73, not 23. So, of course, we got these mushrooms, and I wouldn't go back over this hill. So the only other road go was be following this edge and crossing 2 more fields. We'd still got a fair bit go, when over a sudden the old tup got took shout. Oh, he says, I won't go. I says, cost no week till we get one. I says, no, I can't, I says, it's a bit urgent. I says, wait first, I shan't be a minute. So I got over this gate, and I walked alongside of this edge, to the other side of this edge there, and I got him settled, bottom of this little grassy bank where these bushes one. I didn't say this, Billy Goat. But Billy Goat said him. And just at that particular time, it didn't like human beings. It had been neutered 2 days previous. It was 2 stone lighter, if they know what I mean. Of course, Owd Grandad Piggott, confronting it with his best feature, didn't do much improve its temper. He hit him at about 70. I went one road, his trousers went t'other, and they heard the bloody yell I let out on to the racecourse. Of course, I jumped over this gate, and all I could say was this behind sticking out an hawthorn bush. Now Billy Goat standing about 30 yards away eating his trousers. I went and learnt about 17 new words on the road on. When we got back, I marched straight in there, had no trousers on, knocked his missus from one end of the kitchen to the other, threw the sugar basin at the wall and went bed. His missus went screaming round Lizzie Lockett with a lump on her forehead like a cricket bow. Well, next day I went round with these mushrooms. He said 8 words to me, which when translated, it meant go forth into the distance and stick 'em where a monkey puts its nuts.